I caught my husband with the neighbor in bathtub shattered me, but the real heartbreak came later, when their lies, police reports, and a hidden past forced me to expose the truth they never expected. If you've ever had one of those days where life feels like it's cruising on autopilot, smooth, predictable, same all, you know exactly the kind of Tuesday I thought I was having. No warning signs, no weird vibes, no dramatic music playing in the background. Just a regular morning in my very regular life. My name's Josie Bell, 34 years old, wife of 8 years, lover of iced coffee, queen of color-coded planners, and someone who truly believed she had her life handled. I worked as a claims adjuster for Eagle Star Insurance, a job that was steady, boring, and honestly, exactly the level of chaos I preferred. My house sat in a quiet cul-de-sac just outside Savannah, Georgia, with perfect lawns, friendly neighbors, and that small-town charm where folks wave even when they don't know you. And then there was my husband, Jackson Reed, a man who wore confidence like his favorite cologne. He'd been working from home for months, claiming it helped him focus better. I didn't think much of it. I trusted him like I trusted the ground under my feet, which, spoiler alert, was about to crack like cheap ceramic. That Tuesday morning, I bolted out the door like usual, bagel in my mouth, coffee in one hand, and a folder full of policy documents in the other. "Love you, babe," Jackson hollered from his home office, tapping away on his laptop. If only I knew that was gonna be the last normal moment we'd ever share. Now, one thing about me, I'm forgetful. Not a little bit, like, professionally forgetful. And about 30 minutes into work, I realized a stack of important claim forms was sitting on my dining table instead of in my office where it belonged. "Dang it, Josie," I muttered, grabbing my keys again. My boss let me slip out for an hour. No biggie. I figured I'd run home, grab the papers, maybe surprise Jackson with some lunch. Cute little wife moment, right? But life wasn't on that vibe. Life had different plans for me that day. The 15-minute drive back to the house felt routine, radio on, summer sun beating into my car, the smell of fresh-cut grass from neighbors who apparently didn't work real jobs. Completely normal, until it wasn't. When I pulled up, the first red flag slapped me straight in the face. Caroline's SUV, my neighbor, my friend, my bar of sugar at 9 p.m. buddy, was parked in my driveway. Not in front of her house, not crooked like she was running in real quick. Nope, parked neat as a pin, in my spot. My first thought, maybe she brought something over. But then the house hit me with something weird, complete silence. No music from Jackson's playlist, no voices, no clatter in the kitchen, just silence. "Jackson," I called as I stepped inside. Nothing. My chest tightened a little, not in a dramatic, I sensed betrayal way. More in a okay, this is weird way. I checked the kitchen. Nobody. Living room, empty. Backyard, nope, but something felt off. Objects were in the exact spots I left them, like the house was holding its breath. Then I heard it. The sound that flipped my stomach like a carnival ride. Running water from upstairs in the master bathroom. My bathroom, the one Jackson and I shared. Now listen, logic tried to save me. I swear it did. Maybe Jackson spilled something. Maybe Caroline slipped and needed to wash off. Maybe her bathroom broke. But deep down, some part of me knew, not because I suspected cheating, but because the air felt wrong. Like when you walk into a room after an argument. Heavy, thick, offbeat. Still, I went up the stairs, slowly. Every step felt like stepping deeper into something I wasn't ready for. The water got louder, but so did another sound, whispers. Low, muffled, intimate. I froze outside the bedroom door. My heartbeat wasn't beating, it was slamming, and I swear some part of me begged to just walk away. Pretend I forgot something else. Leave the documents. Leave the house. Leave the truth. But I'm not built like that. I pushed the bathroom door, slow, quiet, barely cracking it open. And that was the moment my life split clean in half before and after. There they were. Jackson and Caroline, in my bathtub together, naked, laughing. Touching, comfortable, like they'd done this 100 times. My body went cold instantly, like someone unplugged my soul. Caroline noticed me first, her eyes blew wide like she'd seen a ghost. Jackson turned, froze, then whispered, "Josie, wait." "Wait for what?" "Your betrayal to make sense, for the universe to stop spinning." But here's the wild thing, I didn't cry, I didn't scream. I didn't even drop the documents I came for. Something inside me just switched. A calm rolled over me like I stepped outside my own body. "Stay right where you are," I said, voice steady and cold as January. Jackson tried to move. "No, don't," I snapped. "Don't take a single step." They froze. I quietly closed the bathroom door, turned the lock. Click, that was the sound of my old self dying, and someone new being born. "Josie," Caroline cried. "What are you doing?" "Giving y'all a minute to think about the choices you made," I said. Then I grabbed my phone, scrolled to a contact I never thought I'd use for this reason, and hit call. "Hey Liam," I said calmly, "Caroline's husband, the sweetest man alive. My place, now you need to see something." And just like that, the betrayal wasn't just theirs anymore. It was ours, mine and Liam's. Two blind spouses about to see everything too clearly. But what Liam and I discovered next, hidden messages, secret plans, and a twist neither cheating spouse ever expected, would flip this whole story upside down. Liam showed up faster than I expected, still wearing his dusty work boots and the name patch stitched on his shirt from the auto shop. I could see the confusion all over him before he even stepped fully inside. He shoved his hands into his pockets the way he does when he's nervous. "Josie, you okay? You sounded weird." Not angry, not scared, just deeply concerned. Because Liam was always that guy, the reliable type, the can-fix-anything guy. The one who believed the world made more sense than it actually does. I swallowed, steadying myself. "Liam, they're upstairs." "Together?" His eyebrows twisted before the words sank in. "Together? What do you mean together?" "Like, really together," I said. My voice didn't shake. His did. He blinked like he couldn't process it. "Caroline." "My Caroline." There was something about the way he said my. Not possessive, just broken, like he'd placed her on a pedestal for years, and now it was collapsing right under him. "Come with me," I said. We moved up the stairs slowly. He walked like a man headed to identify a body, one step at a time, hands shaking. His boots were loud against the hardwood floor, each step echoing the truth he didn't want to hear. I stopped in front of the locked bathroom door. "They're in there," I whispered. He stared at the door like it was alive. "Caroline," he called, his voice cracked like dry wood. A beat of silence, then a soft, terrified reply. Liam, honey. I can explain, stop, just stop talking." I'd never heard Liam's voice sound so empty. On the other side, Jackson tried to jump in. "Liam, man, listen, this is complicated." "Jackson," Liam cut him off, "ain't no version of this that's complicated." He stared at the door so long I thought he might punch through it. Instead, he just whispered, almost to himself, "I trusted both of y'all." And that was when the dam in him cracked. Anger didn't flood out, but something heavier did, understanding. We stepped back into my bedroom, and I finally told him everything. The messages, the water, their faces when they saw me, and the calm that washed over me like someone else took the wheel. Liam covered his mouth with his hand and let out this low breath, a sound you make when life hits you like a speeding truck. "I knew something was off," he whispered, "but I never thought, not her, not them." I nodded slowly. "Same here." He sat on the edge of the bed, elbows on knees, staring at the floor. "How long?" he asked. "I don't know," I said quietly, "but long enough to feel rehearsed." Then I remembered Jackson's phone, still sitting on the nightstand where he left it. "You need to see this," I said. The screen lit up immediately. He never put a passcode on it, because why hide anything, right? Funny how cheaters always feel bold when they think you're blind. I opened the messages I saw earlier and handed the phone to Liam. His eyes scanned fast at first, then slower. Then he froze. There it was. Flirty messages, secret meetups inside, jokes, a few NSFW photos, and worst of all, them planning their future together like we were speed bumps. "Look at this one," he whispered. He turned the phone toward me. It was a message from Caroline just 3 days ago. "Do you think the kids will like sleeping in bunk beds at the new place?" Smiling face with smiling eyes, Jackson replied, "Yeah, babe, once things are official, everything will fall into place." My stomach twisted. But Liam, he didn't just hurt, he unraveled. "My kids," he whispered, voice breaking. "She was planning to move our kids into a house with another man." He stood quickly, pacing like the floor burned his feet. "What kind of mother does that?" His voice cracked again. I wanted to hug him, but I didn't. Liam wasn't someone who hugged when he was hurting. He needed something solid, truth, clarity, action, so I gave him that. "They were gonna blindside us both," I said softly. "Make us look like the problem." He laughed once, a cold, disbelieving laugh. "Man, I work 2 jobs. I fix cars till midnight, then pick up extra shifts at the plant. I thought I was doing all that for my family." "You were," I said. "She just wasn't." He stopped pacing, looked at me with this strange, calm focus. "You locked him in?" "Yep. You good with keeping them in there a little longer?" "Absolutely." Something hardened in him. The softness was gone. The good guy energy was still there, but now sharpened into something fierce. "Josie," he said, "we're gonna need evidence. Real evidence, screenshots, voice recordings, timelines." "I already started," he blinked. "You what?" "I recorded their little confession through the door." Liam stared at me like he'd just seen Batman take off his mask and reveal he was actually a middle-aged insurance adjuster. "You're dangerous," he whispered. "Not dangerous," I said. "Just done," he nodded. "You know what, me too." We sat together going through Jackson's messages, every detail, every lie, every stupid abbreviation. It was disgusting how easy they made it for us. Like they didn't just cheat physically, they cheated casually. When we finished, Liam rubbed his forehead. "We're gonna need legal backup. My lawyer's already on standby," he exhaled slowly. "Then let's finish this." Before we went back upstairs, Liam stopped me by the staircase. "Josie, you sure you're okay?" Truth was, I didn't know. I felt shocked, numb, strong, angry, calm all at once. But I looked at him and said, "I'm more okay than I expected to be." He nodded. And for the first time since he walked in, a flicker of strength appeared behind his eyes. We climbed the stairs together. Two betrayed people. Two hearts shattered on the same day. Two souls who didn't ask for this storm, but were about to decide how the story ends. At the door we paused. The silence inside was loud, heavy, guilty. I knocked twice. "Jackson, Caroline. You done coming up with excuses?" No reply, just quiet breathing and a faint sniffle. Liam spoke next, calmer than ever. "We're not opening this door to save you. We're opening it so you can face what's coming." Still silence. "Get ready," he said. "We're not the same people you lied to." And I swear in that moment the power shift was real. We weren't the abandoned ones. We weren't the victims. We weren't the fools. We were the storm. But opening that bathroom door didn't just expose two cheaters. It unleashed a chain of events they never saw coming. The kind of twist that flips the story from heartbreak to pure, calculated justice. The longer Liam and I stood outside that bathroom door, the more the air in the hallway shifted. It wasn't the same suffocating mix of shock and betrayal as before. No, now it felt like the quiet before a storm. That slow, low rumble in the sky telling everyone, "Brace yourselves. Things are about to break." And I swear, even the house felt different, like it was on our side. I unlocked the door slowly, not to be dramatic, but to give Jackson and Caroline one last chance to panic in silence. One last breath before the truth smacked them straight across the face. As the lock clicked, I leaned close and said through the crack, "You two better sit real still and real honest." The door swung open. There they were, not sexy, not mysterious, not star-crossed lovers. Just two half-dressed, guilty, cornered people wrapped in towels that didn't belong to them. Caroline sat on the closed toilet seat shaking like someone tossed her into ice water. Jackson had his back against the sink, arms crossed like he was at a staff meeting, not caught cheating in my home. Caroline's mascara had traveled halfway down her face. Jackson looked like a man trying to calculate how much trouble he was in and failing. "You locked us in like criminals," Jackson complained. "Ah," I said sweetly. "I'm sorry, should I have brought snacks for your little cheating retreat?" Liam didn't say a word, just stepped inside beside me. His silence made Caroline melt into herself. "Liam, please." "No," he snapped. "Not a single word from you until we're done talkin'." Caroline shut her mouth instantly. Good decision. Jackson tried a different tactic, appeal to logic, manipulate the situation, act like the reasonable adult. "Josie," he said calmly, "this whole thing got out of hand. Look, we made a mistake." 6 months isn't a mistake, I shot back. "That's a hobby." Caroline winced, but I kept going. "And just so we're clear, you didn't get caught because you slipped up. You got caught because you're sloppy." Liam tossed the phone to Jackson like it burned him. "Read it," he ordered. Jackson hesitated, then scrolled through the messages. His eyes widened as he saw screenshots he didn't remember sending, plans he didn't think we knew about, and the nauseating text about bunk beds. Caroline whispered, "Oh my God." "Yeah," Liam said. "God wasn't in these messages." Jackson swallowed hard. He wasn't the confident guy I married 8 years ago. He was a scared man facing consequences he thought he'd avoid. "I can explain," he muttered. "No," I said. "This is the part where you listen." Caroline's voice cracked. "I never wanted this to happen like this." "Like what?" I snapped. "Like being caught. Like not being able to control the narrative. Like your fantasy life collapsing before you got to decorate the kids' bunk beds." She flinched so hard her towel nearly slipped. Liam stepped forward, his jaw clenched so tight I could see the muscle twitch. "I just want to know one thing," he said. His voice was low, quiet, controlled. "What about the kids?" he asked her. "You were really ready to rip them out of their home, put 'em in some townhouse with a man they barely know. Were you just gonna pack up their little backpacks and tell them, Mommy found someone better?" Caroline broke then. Tears poured down her cheeks. I thought. "Stop stuttering," Liam snapped. "You thought you weren't gonna get caught, that's what you thought." Jackson stepped in like he had any authority left. "Liam, don't talk to her like that." "Oh," Liam turned slowly toward him. "You protectin' her now, that what we're doin', you got a superhero cape under that towel. I swear, if the situation hadn't been so painful, I would have applauded." Jackson shut up instantly. Finally, Liam looked at me. "Josie, tell them." I nodded, stepping closer to the counter where a pile of their clothes sat, a reminder that they made themselves at home in my most private space. "1, I started, holding a finger up. "You're leaving this house in 10 minutes. Jackson opened his mouth. I didn't let him speak. 2, you don't come back without a police escort or a neutral party. Caroline sobbed into her hands. 3, this entire mess. Every text, every recording, every detail, already with our lawyers. Jackson's face drained of color. He wasn't thinking about love or passion or destiny anymore. He was thinking about the courts, his job, his money. "Josie, we can work this out." "No," I said, stepping closer. "Don't say we like there's still a team. You benched me months ago." Liam stepped up beside me, arms crossed. "What she said?" Jackson tried again, desperate now. "We didn't mean to fall in love. Say love again," I said quietly, "and I'll make sure your boss knows every detail of your little midday bathtub adventures." He shut up instantly. The room fell silent except for Caroline's sniffling. "You didn't just cheat," I added. "You tried to rewrite our lives like we weren't real people." Caroline looked up. "Josie, I swear I don't even know why." "Oh, you know why," I said. "You liked being the new shiny thing. You liked the attention, and Jackson, he liked feeling like some kind of neighborhood Casanova." Their silence was all the confirmation I needed. Then Liam said something I didn't expect, something that hit the room hard. "You two deserve each other," he whispered, "and that's your punishment." They both broke at that. Jackson bowed his head. Caroline started sobbing harder. Their fairy tale had turned into a haunted house. I stepped back, letting the weight of it settle. "Get dressed," I said. "Then get out." They scrambled for their clothes, avoiding eye contact, looking smaller and smaller by the second. I didn't watch them change. Liam and I stepped into the hallway. But hearing them rush around, hearing trembling hands fumble with buttons, hearing whispered apologies they only said to themselves, it felt like closure. As they came out of the bedroom fully dressed, faces pale, eyes swollen, shoulders slumped, Liam and I stepped aside like two guards escorting traitors to the exit. No yelling, no chaos, just quiet power. When they reached the top of the stairs, Jackson looked back once like he wanted to say something, maybe sorry, maybe don't leave me, maybe help. I didn't care. "Keep walking," I said. And they did, down the stairs, through the hallway. Out the front door. The moment it shut behind them, the house exhaled. So did we. Liam leaned against the wall, rubbing his hands over his face. "You okay?" "No," I said honestly. "But I will be." And for the first time that day, I actually believed it. But the real twist, their walk of shame wasn't even the explosive part. The fallout that hit after they left changed everything even more, and none of us were ready for it. The second the front door slammed shut behind Jackson and Caroline, the silence hit the house like a shockwave. Not a peaceful silence, more like the silence after a tornado has ripped through a town, and you're standing in the leftovers wondering what the hell just happened. I leaned against the banister, exhaling the longest breath of my life. Liam stood at the bottom of the stairs with both hands on his hips, staring blankly at the door like he expected it to burst open again. "They're really gone," he muttered. "Yep," I said. "Like trash day, took out the garbage." He let out a small laugh, the sad, "my life is on fire but humor still works" kind of laugh. Then he sank onto the bottom step. "What do we even do now, Josie?" His voice wasn't angry anymore, just tired, bone-deep tired. "I don't know," I said truthfully, sitting next to him. "But whatever we do, it's gonna be better than what they planned for us." Liam rubbed the back of his neck, staring at the floor. "You know what's wild?" he said finally. "I wasn't even this upset when Caroline wrecked her car last year. I just fixed it and moved on. But this ain't something you can wrench back into place." I nudged his shoulder lightly. "You don't gotta fix this one, just survive it." He nodded, chewing on the inside of his cheek. We sat in silence for a moment, two people whose lives had blown up within the same hour, sitting like dazed soldiers after a battle. But that peaceful moment didn't last long, because then my phone exploded. Not literally, but the notifications hit like machine gun fire. Text from Jackson, "Josie, please talk to me." Another, "You overreacted." Another, "You embarrassed me, let's be adults." And then my favorite one, "I didn't even enjoy it as much as you think." I stared at the screen and snorted. Oh wow, he's already spiraling. Liam rolled his eyes. Man's worried about the wrong things. But before I could reply, Liam's phone buzzed too. He glanced at it. "Oh great," he muttered, "it's her dad." "Her dad?" I raised my eyebrows. "What'd he say?" Liam read the text out loud. "Son, call me. Caroline's crying, says you threatened to throw her out." "What's going on?" I nearly burst out laughing. "Threatened? Did she tell him why?" Liam shook his head. "Nope. She always gives the half story that makes her look like a victim." Then he typed back, "Ask your daughter. She knows exactly why." He hit send hard enough to break the screen. I felt a wave of admiration sweep through me. Seeing Liam find his spine felt oddly inspiring. But before we had time to enjoy the moment, something unexpected happened. A car screeched to a stop outside. Liam and I glanced at each other. "Oh Lord," I sighed. Which one of them came back? We moved to the window. And there, standing on my lawn with her purse swinging wildly and fury in her eyes, was Caroline's mother. And she was mad. She stormed toward the door with the energy of a woman who just found out her daughter was out here acting like a discount soap opera villain. "Oh hell," Liam sighed. "Brace yourself." He opened the door before she could pound on it. "Where is she?" her mother demanded, her southern accent thickened by sheer rage. "She's gone," I answered calmly. "With Jackson," her mother blinked. "With WHO," Liam looked at her sympathetically. "It's bad, ma'am. Really bad." The woman looked between us, her face tightening as the puzzle pieces slid into place. She pressed a hand to her chest. "No, you don't mean Jackson. You're your husband." I nodded slowly. She closed her eyes like someone had stabbed her. "My God, my daughter is a fool." "No arguments here," I muttered. Her mother walked into the living room like she owned the place. She sat down on the couch with a long sigh, her hand trembling as she dug through her purse. "I knew something was wrong," she said, shaking her head. "I told her to stop actin' brand new. But does she listen to me? No. Does she think about her kids? No, she wants drama like she's the star of one of those messy shows." Liam sat across from her, elbows on his knees. "Ma'am, she wasn't just having an affair. They were planning to move my boys into a new townhouse." Her mother froze. "What?" "Yep," I added. "Bunk beds and everything." Her mother grabbed her face with both hands. "Lord help me if I get my hands on her." We let her rant for a while. It was therapeutic for all three of us. But then something else happened. My phone buzzed with a new message. Not from Jackson, from a coworker. "Girl, why did Jackson's boss just call HR into his office?" My eyes widened. Oh, I forgot I had emailed Jackson's boss while they were still locked in my bathroom. Liam raised an eyebrow. "What's happening?" I held up the phone. "I think Jackson's about to get fired." Liam kicked back in the chair, a slow grin forming. "That's karma hidden express delivery." But karma wasn't done, not even close. Because not 60 seconds later, Liam got another text, from a neighbor. "Why is Caroline screaming in the street with a suitcase?" We all froze. Caroline's mother slowly turned her head toward us. Screaming, then another message came through. "She's yelling at Jackson, says she gave up her marriage for him and now he's ditching her." "Oh my God," I breathed. "They're already imploding." Liam burst out laughing. Caroline's mother pinched the bridge of her nose. "I'm too old for this mess." She stood up, grabbed her purse, and headed to the door. "Where are you going?" Liam asked. "To drag my daughter home by her ear," her mother snapped. "And possibly hit Jackson with my shoe." I stepped aside. "Ma'am, do what you gotta do." She marched out like a warrior queen ready to ruin lives. When she left, Liam and I stared at the door for a moment. Then he turned to me. "You want to see something petty?" "Always," I said. He walked over to the window, watched Caroline's mother yelling at them in the street, and lifted his phone. "What are you doing?" I asked. He smirked. "Recording." He wasn't being dramatic. He wasn't being childish. He was gathering more evidence. Smart man, because whatever drama was happening out there, it wasn't just yelling. Caroline was crying hysterically. Jackson was pacing like a caged animal. Her mother was pointing, screaming, waving her purse like a weapon. And neighbors were peeking through blinds like it was the season finale of a show they weren't supposed to be watching. This wasn't an affair anymore. This was a whole neighborhood scandal. And it was only getting bigger. I looked at Liam. Well, I said, crossing my arms, we wanted justice. He nodded without taking his eyes off the scene, and justice just put on a show, but the fallout was just warming up. Because what happened later that night, when Jackson tried one last trick to save himself, changed the entire game, permanently. After the circus out on my front lawn finally died down, Caroline's mother dragging her by the wrist, Jackson walking behind them like a soaked puppy who didn't know where home was anymore, I shut the blinds and locked the door. Liam and I stood there in the entryway, staring at each other like two people who had just survived a plane crash. You want coffee? I asked. Liam snorted. I want something stronger, but coffee'll do. We wandered into the kitchen like we'd lived there as roommates for years. It was weird how comfortable we suddenly were. Maybe trauma bonds people faster than anything else. Or maybe we were both so emotionally wiped, we couldn't pretend to be polite strangers anymore. The coffee machine sputtered to life, noisy and dramatic, fitting for the day we were having. Liam rubbed his face. My boys are getting out of school in 2 hours. You gonna tell them today? I asked softly. He shook his head. I ain't telling them nothing until I talk to my lawyer. They deserve the truth, but not raw like this. Not while the wound's still bleedin'. I nodded, taking that in. He was right. We were still in the bleed-out phase. Before I could say anything else, my phone buzzed again. Liam gave a tired groan. If that's Jackson again, it wasn't Jackson, it was my boss. Oh my God, I muttered, reading the preview. What now? Liam asked. I opened the message. Josie, Jackson's employer, just contacted us asking for verification about his whereabouts the last few Tuesdays. Are you involved in something we should know? I nearly choked on air. Dang, Liam said. Karma ain't walkin' today, she running. I typed back quickly, personal issue, I'll explain tomorrow. I'd deal with HR later, preferably after sleep and a gallon of coffee. But the moment I set my phone down, it buzzed again. Liam groaned louder. Please don't tell me that's Jackson. Oh, it's Jackson, I said, and he's typing a whole essay. I opened the messages, and my jaw dropped. Jackson, Josie, I know you're upset. But what you did today was illegal. I blinked. Illegal, he kept going. You can't lock someone in a room against their will. You can't record people without consent. You better delete whatever you recorded. I'll give you one chance to fix this. Let me come home and talk. My laugh came out sharp and loud. Liam stared. What'd he say? Oh, he's threatening me. I tossed him the phone. Liam read it, then laughed so hard he slapped the countertop. This man just got caught slippin', and now he wanna play lawyer. He can't even spell illegal without autocorrect. I snatched the phone back and typed slowly. Jackson, the only illegal thing that happened today is you in my bathtub with another woman. Do not contact me again unless it's through a lawyer. I hit send, then blocked him. Liam raised his mug in a little toast. Amen. But peace didn't last. 10 minutes later, bam, 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 someone pounded on my front door. I swear my soul left my body for a second. Liam stiffened like he was ready to fight. Oh my God, I whispered. If it's Jackson, I swear. Liam walked to the door first, checking the peephole. He sighed heavily. Well, it ain't Jackson. Who is it? He stepped aside. Standing on my porch in full uniform with a notepad in hand was a police officer. My stomach dropped. What the? Liam opened the door halfway. Afternoon, officer, something wrong. Are you Liam Parker? The officer asked. Yes, sir. And this is the residence of Miss Josie Bell. He peered inside until he saw me. I stepped forward. Yes, that's me. The officer cleared his throat. We received a call from a Mr. Jackson Reed. Liam muttered under his breath. Oh, this fool really called the cops. What did he say? I asked calmly, though my heart pounded. He reported being unlawfully detained on private property. I blinked, the audacity, the gall. The cop flipped a page. He also stated you may be withholding personal belongings he needs access to. Liam whispered, Oh, I'ma kill him. I elbowed him. I faced the officer. Sir, Jackson was not detained. He was locked in my bathroom because I walked in on him having an affair with my neighbor in my bathtub. He was never held down, never forced, never harmed. And their belongings were not withheld, they left wearing them. The officer looked down at his notepad, then exhaled. Ma'am, look between us. This sounds like a domestic dispute, not a criminal one. Exactly, I said. He gave a sympathetic nod. Legally, all he can do is file a report, but with the circumstances you described, it's unlikely to go anywhere. Just don't keep him from getting essential items if he needs them. He can come tomorrow with a police escort, I said. That's reasonable, the officer replied. Then he lowered his voice. And between you and me, he sounded drunk when he called. I blinked. Drunk? It's barely afternoon. The officer shrugged. Some folks panic ugly. And then, as if the universe wanted to add insult to injury, the officer handed me a card. If he contacts you again in a threatening way, call me directly. He walked back to his cruiser like this was just another Tuesday. The moment he left, Liam shut the door and exploded. He called the cops on you, after you caught him. The nerve of this lemon-headed. I held up a hand. Liam, I'm done fighting stupid today. He let out a long exhale. Yeah. Same. I poured myself another coffee. Liam grabbed a water bottle. We stood there for a minute just staring at nothing. Then Liam broke the silence. You know what's crazy? What? He ain't done. Jackson's the type who keeps digging himself deeper. I leaned against the counter. You think he's gonna try something else? Liam nodded grimly. Oh, he's absolutely gonna try something else. Cheaters don't know how to take an L. He wasn't wrong. Because while I thought the cop visit was bad, Jackson's next move, later that night, would be worse than anything he'd done so far. And it wouldn't be cheating this time. It would be something darker, something pathetic, something dangerous. Because when night fell, Jackson didn't come back with flowers or apologies. He came back with something far more manipulative, and the way he tried to twist the story almost blew everything apart that night. The house felt too quiet. Not peaceful, but heavy. Like the silence wasn't empty, like it was watching us. Liam sat on my couch, elbows on knees, scrolling through pictures of his kids on his phone. Every few minutes his lip trembled, but he pushed it down, swallowing the ache like a man who refused to break in front of anybody, not even himself. I brought him a blanket, tossed it over his shoulders like he was a soldier who needed warmth more than words. He gave me a tired smile. Appreciate it. You're human, I said softly. You're allowed to fall apart. He nodded, wiping his eyes quickly. Just can't let my boys see it. Not yet. I sat across from him, curling up with my own mug and blanket. Despite everything, having him there made the house feel less haunted. But eventually he stood. I gotta go home, Josie. Gotta put the house back together before the kids come back from school. You sure you're okay to drive? He nodded. Yeah, promise. As he reached the door, he paused, looking back. If you need anything tonight, anything at all, you call me, all right? I gave him a small nod. Same goes for you, he left. And then I was alone. Not lonely, just alone with the quiet, a quiet that suddenly didn't feel safe. I wandered through the house, turning on lights. Bedroom light, hall light, living room light, kitchen light. Not because I was scared, but because my gut kept whispering something isn't right. I double-checked the locks, closed the curtains tighter, tested the alarm system on my phone app. Finally, I exhaled, trying to shake the uneasiness. I changed into comfy pajamas, grabbed a book, and sat on the couch. But before I got through a single page ding, my phone buzzed. A video message from an unknown number. My stomach dropped as soon as I saw the thumbnail, Jackson, crying. Oh no, I whispered, dread flooding my body. I tapped it. His voice came through shaky, slurred, dramatic as a bad soap opera audition. Juicy, it's me, your husband, your real husband. He sniffed loudly. I don't know why you're doing this to me. I feel lost, alone. I got nowhere to go. He was sitting in what looked like his car, dashboard lights glowing across his face. He wiped tears with the back of his hand theatrically. I messed up, okay. I know I messed up. But you locking me in a bathroom, you humiliating me, you talking to lawyers, Josie, why are you doing this? Why are you ruining our life? My jaw tightened. Ruining our life, he ruined it. He set it on fire. And now he wanted to pull me into his pity puddle. He kept going. I'm not okay. I'm thinking about doing something stupid, something you'll regret. My blood went cold. Oh hell no, I muttered. He's not doing this. He sniffled again, eyes red and watery. If something happens to me tonight, I hope you can live with it. I hope you're proud. I froze, because this wasn't an apology video. It was a setup video, a guilt trip, a manipulation attempt, an emotional hostage situation. And the worst part, he sent a second video immediately after. I opened it. This time his voice was smaller, shaking. I don't want to live without you. I don't know who I am without you. I can't breathe. You're all I got. And the ending. I hope you remember what you did. My heart switched from fear to fury in seconds. Oh, he's not just stupid, he's dangerous. I grabbed my phone and immediately called Liam. He picked up instantly, breathless. What's wrong? Jackson is spiraling, I said bluntly. And he sent me 2 videos basically threatening self-harm and blaming me. Liam cursed so loudly I had to pull the phone away. That idiot is trying to trap you legally, he snapped. He's setting up a storyline, he wants to make you the villain. I know, I said, the videos feel rehearsed. Of course they do, Liam said. He's panicking, his job's on the line. Caroline dumped him, her mama hates him, everyone knows what he did. He's losing control, so now he's trying to scare you into talking him back. I paced around the living room, heart pounding. What do I do? Liam didn't hesitate. You call the non-emergency line and ask for a wellness check. You need a record that you reached out, that you didn't ignore it, that you tried to help. That'll piss him off. Good, Liam said. He needs to know manipulation ain't gonna save him. I nodded, adrenaline rushing. And Josie, he added, save the videos, forward them to your lawyer. That's evidence of emotional manipulation. My chest loosened a little. Okay, I said, I'll do it. And Josie, yeah, I'm proud of you, you're handling this way better than most folks would. For a moment, I actually felt strong. But that moment didn't last, because when I hung up, something caught my eye. A shadow, outside my window, I froze. The porch light was off, but the moonlight lit just enough for me to see a shape. A person, standing still, too still. I grabbed my phone with trembling fingers and stepped back from the window. Another buzz. Another message, this time text, from the same unknown number. I'm outside. My lungs stopped working. Another buzz. We need to talk. Another buzz. A picture this time. The picture was of my house, my front door, my porch light. Taken from a few feet away. Nope, I whispered. Absolutely not. My hands shook as I hit call. Liam answered instantly. What's wrong now? He's here, I whispered. Outside, right now. Liam didn't even reply, he just hung up. 20 seconds later, my phone buzzed again. A single text. I'm on my way, don't open the door. I locked every door twice, turned off every light, backed away from the windows, and waited, heart pounding so loud I thought the neighbors could hear it. Then bang, 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 bang. Someone slammed on the front door. I jumped. My voice cracked. Jackson, go home. Leave me alone. His voice came through the door, slurring and desperate. Josie, we have to talk. You can't ignore me. You can't call the cops on me. Open the door, he pounded harder. If you don't open this door, I swear I'll. Tires screeched outside. Headlights flooded the porch. Liam's truck. He jumped out like a man possessed. Hey, he shouted. Get your hands off her door. Jackson froze, then turned. Liam stepped onto the porch like he was ready to throw the entire man into the street. Jackson stumbled back. You don't live here anymore, Liam growled. You ain't welcome. And you sure as hell ain't threatenin' her. Jackson pointed a shaking finger at me through the window. She ruined my life. No, Liam snapped. You ruined your life. She's just done letting you drag her down with you. Jackson backed up slowly, stumbled, then turned and ran down the street like a scared animal. Liam exhaled hard and banged on the door. Josie, it's me, you're safe. I opened the door slowly. He stepped inside, breathless. You okay? He asked. I nodded, but my knees gave out. He caught me instantly. It's okay, he whispered. He can't hurt you, not tonight, not ever again. And for the first time that day, I let myself cry. But the next morning, when the sun came up, the real bomb dropped. A twist so big it changed the entire direction of the story, and neither of us saw it coming. I didn't remember falling asleep. Last thing I recall was Liam sitting beside me on the couch, one arm slung protectively around my shoulders while I shook from adrenaline, fear, and exhaustion. At some point, my body just gave out. But morning didn't arrive softly. No birds chirping, no sunrise glow, no peaceful quiet. Nope. Morning arrived with a rude, loud, obnoxious ding 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 ding, my phone vibrating nonstop like a possessed beehive. I shot up, heart racing. For a split second I thought Jackson was back at the door, but then my eyes focused. 40 missed notifications, from coworkers, friends, neighbors, and 2 messages from an unknown number. Liam, who had dozed off on the recliner, jolted awake when I gasped. Josie, what happened? I showed him my phone. His face dropped. What the hell? The first message I opened was from my coworker, Janelle. Girl, is it true? Then another, why's your husband all over Facebook? My stomach twisted. No, I opened Facebook, and there it was, the bomb. A giant, messy, dramatic post. From Jackson, public, not private. Not restricted, public with a crying selfie, of course the caption. My blood went cold as I read it. Jackson read, 3 hours ago, I'm writing this with a broken heart. My wife of 8 years locked me in a bathroom yesterday, screamed at me, recorded me without consent, and threw me out of my own house. I've been spiraling all night. If anything happens to me, please know I loved her. I tried. I wasn't perfect, but I didn't deserve this. Please pray for me, I'm not okay. 3210 reactions, 1.2 thousand comments. People sending prayers. People calling me abusive. People asking if I snapped. People sharing it. People tagging me. Liam muttered, "Oh, he done lost his damn mind." But it got worse. Attached to the post was a clipped version of the video Jackson sent me last night. He cut out the part where he threatened me. He cut out the manipulation. He cut out the parts where he blamed me. Instead, he left just enough for anyone watching to think, "Wow, his wife did him dirty." My hands shook with rage. This is slander," I whispered. "It's manipulative," Liam corrected, "and intentional." I kept scrolling through the comments, even though I knew I shouldn't. No one deserves to be treated like that. His wife sounds toxic as hell. If she drove him to this, she should be ashamed. Someone check on him. And then, a comment from his mother. "Josie always had a temper." I almost threw the phone across the room. "Oh heck no," Liam snapped. He pulled the whole sympathy card, public victim mode. "And the worst part," I whispered. "People believe him." Liam took a slow, steady breath. "Okay," he said. "Sit down, we need a plan." I sank onto the couch. "This is crazy," I said. "He cheated, he lied, he tried to manipulate me. He came to my house in the middle of the night and threatened me. And now he's painting himself as the victim." Liam sat beside me. "Josie, cheaters do two things extremely well. Lie and play the victim when the lie explodes. But this," I pointed at the phone, "this is character assassination. And that," Liam said calmly, "is why we're not responding emotionally." Then he leaned forward, elbows on knees. "We're responding strategically." I rubbed my temples. "What do we even do?" He counted on his fingers. 1. Don't comment on the post, that's what he wants. 2. Screenshot everything before he deletes it. 3. Call your lawyer. 4. Since he posted a public cry for help video, we call for another wellness check. This time it goes in the official record. I blinked. "That feels harsh." "Josie," Liam said seriously, "that man showed up at your house at night. He threatened himself, he threatened you. He filmed himself crying and trying to set you up. That's not romance. That's not heartbreak, that's emotional blackmail." I swallowed hard. He was right. Before I could answer, another notification came. A text from an unknown number. I opened it. My jaw dropped. "Tell your friend to stay out of our marriage." "Oh, you are marriage?" I snapped. Liam snatched the phone. "That ain't from Jackson," he said. I frowned. "What do you mean?" This tone. These words, this ain't him. He handed the phone back. The number wasn't Jackson's. Then another message came in from the same number. "You pushed him too far, you owe him an apology." My mouth fell open. "Is this Caroline?" Liam said calmly. "That's 100% Caroline." My skin crawled. She had his phone, or she was using a second number, or she was defending him publicly now. Before I could decide, the phone buzzed again. A new notification from MY Boss. Subject line, "We need to talk." "Oh God," I whispered. Liam's jaw clenched. "Don't panic," he said. "She probably saw the Facebook post. People react before they think." My phone buzzed again. Another text from an unknown number. "Your whole job knows what you did." "You gotta be kidding me," I muttered. And then my phone rang. Liam's too, at the exact same time. We looked at each other. Same ringtone, same vibration pattern. We both answered. He answered his first. "Hello," I answered mine. "Hello," and then we both froze, because the voices on the other end said the same thing. "We need you to come down to the station and make a statement." My blood iced. "What? Why?" I asked. The officer sighed. "Because Mr. Jackson Reed filed a formal complaint this morning." My chest tightened. "He said what?" "He claims you emotionally abused him, locked him in a room, recorded him without permission, and threatened him." I shot up from the couch. "That's a lie." "I believe you," the officer said, "but we need your side." "And Mr. Parker's." Liam's eyes met mine, cold rage in them. "They dragged me into this too," he snapped into the phone. "Yes, sir, Mr. Reed stated you escalated the situation." "Oh, hell no," Liam growled. The officer continued, "This won't be an arrest situation, but we do need statements. The sooner the better." I felt dizzy. Jackson wasn't spiraling. Jackson was strategizing. He wasn't falling apart. He was building a defense. He wasn't crying for help. He was setting up a legal trap, and worst of all, he wasn't alone. Caroline was helping him. Liam hung up and stood. "Josie," he said, voice shaking with anger, "we are not letting that clown flip the script." "What do we do?" I whispered. He grabbed his keys. "We go down there," he said. We tell the truth, his eyes hardened. And then, he opened the door. We burn every single lie he tried to hide behind. My heart steadied. Because this wasn't just surviving anymore. This was war. But when we reached the station, we walked straight into the twist no one warned us about, a truth that shattered everything we thought we knew about Jackson's plan, and revealed someone else pulling strings behind the scenes. The drive to the police station felt like a slow-motion nightmare. Not because of the traffic, not because of the gray morning sky, not because my head was pounding from zero sleep, but because of the silence between Liam and me. Not tension, but the kind of silence that happens when two people are preparing mentally for a battle. He gripped the steering wheel tight, jaw clenched like he was chewing invisible rocks. "You okay?" I finally asked. "No," he answered honestly. "But I'm here." That mattered more than anything. We pulled into the station parking lot, and before the engine was even off, Liam said, "Remember, don't downplay anything. Don't soften details. Don't defend him. Tell the truth exactly how it happened." I nodded, though my stomach did a full flip. Inside, the air smelled like strong coffee, printer ink, and stress. An officer behind the glass partition recognized us immediately. "You must be Miss Bell and Mr. Parker," he said, standing up. "Detective Monroe will see you both now." Detective Monroe, tall, broad shoulders, gray in his beard, eyes that felt like they saw everything before you even said a word. He motioned for us to sit in a small interview room. "Before we start," he said calmly, "I want you both to know something." We leaned in. "Nothing about Mr. Reed's statement adds up." I blinked. Liam blinked. Monroe continued. "He filed a complaint claiming emotional abuse, unlawful detainment, and harassment." He looked at us. But three things stuck out immediately. He raised one finger. 1. His timeline makes no physical sense. He claims he was locked in a bathroom for hours, yet both neighbors reported seeing him outside your home less than 30 minutes after you called for a welfare check. Second finger. 2. The injury photos he presented. They don't look recent, in fact they look staged. Third finger. And 3. He wasn't alone when he came in to file the report. My stomach tightened. "Let me guess," Liam said. "Caroline," Monroe nodded slowly. "She sat next to him the whole time, answered half the questions for him, and insisted repeatedly that this was all your fault." "Of course she did," I muttered, but then Monroe said something that made the room tilt. "Here's the twist. She wasn't just defending him," he paused. "She was trying to file her own complaint against you." "What?" I snapped. "I barely know her," Monroe folded his hands. "She claimed you threatened her life after catching them together. Said you told her you'd ruin her and make her disappear." I choked on pure disbelief. Liam exploded. "What the hell? She's the one sleeping with her neighbor's husband, and she's filing complaints." Monroe lifted a hand. "People panic when their secrets get exposed, especially when infidelity crosses into legal consequences." "But why is she this invested?" I asked quietly. "This isn't her marriage." Monroe exchanged a look with another detective through the window, then closed the door discreetly. "Because," he said, voice softening, "we ran her name through our internal logs." My heart thudded. "And," I whispered, "and this isn't her first time interfering in a domestic situation." I swallowed hard. "What does that mean?" Monroe pulled out a thin file. "A few years ago, Caroline was involved in an incident with another married man. Similar pattern, obsessive attachment, manipulation, inserting herself into the couple's disputes." I felt sick. "Oh my God, she's repeating the cycle," Liam said grimly. Monroe continued. "In that previous case, she tried to flip the narrative and accuse the wife of abuse. The case was dismissed. But the pattern matches what she's doing now." "So she's not doing this because she cares about Jackson," I said. "No," Monroe said. "She's doing this because she lost control. She expected Jackson to pick her over you. He didn't. And now she's spiraling." Liam huffed bitterly. "Man, she and Jackson deserve each other. They're both manipulative as hell." Monroe nodded slowly. "We also found something else." He slid a printed screenshot across the table. My breath caught in my throat. The screenshot was from a private Facebook group, a neighborhood wives group. And Caroline had posted, "Prayers needed. My boyfriend's wife attacked him after discovering our relationship. She's unstable and dangerous. Please stay clear of her house." My vision blurred with rage. "She what?" Liam slammed his fist on the table. "She's straight up lying about the entire thing." Monroe held up a hand again. Calm, serious. But his eyes flashed with authority. "That's why you're both here. Because their lies, their posts, their attempts to spin a narrative are extremely serious. I swallowed hard. Are we in trouble? Monroe shook his head. No, not from anything we've reviewed. Relief washed through me so fast I almost cried. But Jackson and Caroline, he exhaled sharply. They're digging themselves into a massive hole. Liam leaned back, arms crossed. So what now? Monroe clicked his pen. Now we take your formal statements. Then we gather the security footage you mentioned from your doorbell. Then we review the videos Jackson sent you. I nodded. And after that, Monroe looked straight into my eyes. After that, we'll be speaking to Jackson, formally. Liam smirked darkly. Oh, I would pay good money to be a fly on that wall. But then, just when the tension started to finally ease, a knock hit the door. Another officer stepped inside, holding a folder. Detective Monroe. Yeah, you're gonna want to see this, just came in. He handed him the file. Monroe opened it. His brows pulled together, deep, concerned, then confused. What is it? I asked nervously. Monroe looked at me slowly. Then at Liam, then he closed the folder carefully. Miss Bell and Mr. Parker, he exhaled. We just received a new report, a fresh one, filed this morning. My heart sank. From who? I whispered. He placed the folder on the table. From Jackson Reed's employer. I frowned. His employer? Why? Monroe tapped the folder. They filed a formal misconduct complaint connected to his affair and included an anonymous letter claiming you two were colluding to ruin him professionally. My jaw dropped. Liam shot up from his chair. You're kidding. Monroe's expression didn't budge. I'm not. And who wrote the anonymous letter? I asked. He slid it toward me. Written in shaky handwriting. I recognized the handwriting instantly. So did Liam. His eyes widened. Oh my God, that's Caroline, I whispered. Yep, Monroe said. She's escalating. The room felt colder, scarier. This wasn't just revenge, this was obsession, and she wasn't done. Because by the time we left the station, we weren't heading home. We were heading straight into a truth bomb waiting on my porch. One that flipped the entire story and exposed why Caroline was really fighting so hard. The sun was barely past noon when Liam and I finally walked out of the police station. You'd think I'd feel relieved after giving my statement, handing over Jackson's videos, screenshots, messages, and watching the detective side-eye every lie Jackson tried to pull, but no. I felt like someone had kicked my ribs in. Liam held the car door open for me. You did good in there, he said softly. I feel like I'm drowning, I admitted. He nodded. Yeah, but at least now you're not drowning alone. We drove back toward my house. Every block closer, the tighter my chest became. When we turned onto my street, I almost told Liam to keep driving, because something was off. My house looked the same, the yard looked the same, the porch looked the same, but my gut screamed, something's waiting. Liam slowed the truck. You see that, he said under his breath. I leaned forward. And that's when I noticed a small cardboard box, placed right in front of my door, like the world's most suspicious Amazon package. There was no delivery truck in sight, no postal sticker. Just my name scrawled on the top in handwriting I recognized instantly. Liam whispered, Caroline. My stomach flipped. He put the truck in park but grabbed my wrist before I could get out. Don't touch it, he said firmly. I'll check it. No, I whispered, panic gripping my throat. What if it's something dangerous? He shook his head. She's manipulative, not murderous. Manipulative people escalate, I said shakily. Detective Monroe literally said that. He exhaled through his nose. All right, we'll both go, but slowly. We got out, moving like two people walking into a lion's den. The closer we got, the more the handwriting became obvious. Loopy, overdramatic, every letter embellished like she was signing a wedding invitation. Yup, Caroline. Liam crouched next to the box without touching it. No ticking, he muttered. No weird smell, no leaking. I rolled my eyes at him. Really, a bomb? She's crazy, not a cartoon villain. You'd be surprised, he said. Crazy scales. He used a house key to carefully lift the corner of the lid just enough to peek. He looked inside, went dead still, then slowly lifted the lid off. I gasped, because inside the box, stacked neatly like little trophies, were copies of private photos. Not of me, not of my marriage, of them, Jackson and Caroline, together, in different places. Different months, some from so long ago it made my stomach drop. They weren't affair snapshots, they were relationship snapshots. Couple selfies, romantic dinners, selfies in his car, pictures of them hugging, laughing, her lying on his chest. Him kissing her forehead, her wearing his hoodie. Pictures way older than the bathtub fiasco. This wasn't a one-time stupid mistake. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment cheating spree. This was a full-blown relationship. A whole second life. A life he'd been living behind my back for at least a year, maybe longer. I covered my mouth, breath shaking. "Oh my God," Liam's jaw flexed. "There's more," he muttered, pulling out an envelope. Inside were printouts of text messages. Not screenshots, printouts. Caroline had highlighted certain parts in pink like she was making a presentation. Liam handed me the papers. I skimmed the first page. "Jackson, I can't stand being home. She nags and acts like everything I do is a disappointment. Caroline, you deserve better, you deserve joy, you deserve me." Read Jackson, "Baby, when I'm with you, I feel like myself. She doesn't even look at me the way you do." The next page, Jackson, "I hate coming home to her. I swear she's trying to control everything. Wish I could stay with you forever." The next, Caroline, "Why don't you? You'd be happier with me. You know she'll never give you what I can." My vision blurred. These weren't recent. These weren't desperate. These were months of messages. Liam whispered, "He's been treating you like the villain long before you ever caught him." I shook my head, tears burning my eyes. "I gave him everything," I whispered. "And he was living a whole life with her." Liam didn't answer. Because he didn't have to. The truth sat in that box like a slap to the face. And then I found something worse. Another envelope, thicker. I opened it slowly. Inside were appointment cards. Lab results, hospital wristbands, ultrasound printouts. My breath left my body. They were all Caroline's, all dated within the last few months. Pregnancy tests, blood test confirmations, ultrasound images with notes scribbled on the back. "Our baby red heart. He promised me everything. He said he'd leave her before the baby comes. We were supposed to be a family," my vision swayed. Caroline wasn't just clinging to Jackson because she was obsessive. She wasn't filing false reports because she hated me. She wasn't defending him for fun. She wasn't sabotaging me for the thrill. She was doing it because she was pregnant, I whispered. Liam froze. "Was," he repeated carefully. I nodded slowly. The ultrasound pictures, they stopped. No birth plan, no follow-ups, no later scans, no baby pictures, no newborn wristband, just early ultrasounds. And then nothing. Liam swallowed hard. "She lost it," he said quietly. I nodded again, tears forming. "She lost the baby and blamed me." He shut his eyes. Suddenly, everything made horrible sense. Her rage, her obsession, her lies, her attack posts, the anonymous letters. The desperation to flip the narrative. The way she treated the affair like a war zone. She wasn't fighting for Jackson. She was fighting for the fantasy life she believed was stolen from her. A life she thought was hers. A baby she thought would bind Jackson to her forever. A future she had named, imagined, decorated, dreamed, and when it slipped away, I became the symbol of everything she lost. A rival she had invented. A villain she needed. A target she could point at instead of herself or Jackson. Suddenly, all the messages, all the manipulation, all the rage made sense. Liam took a step back from the box. "Josie," he whispered, "we need to call Monroe. Right now." But before we could move, my phone vibrated, a text from an unknown number. I expected more threats. But instead, it was one sentence. One chilling sentence. "I need to talk to you alone, please." My heart dropped. Liam leaned over to read it. When he saw the sender name, his face hardened. Because it wasn't Jackson. It was Caroline. And when I agreed to meet her, I didn't expect the next confession, a truth so impossible and so heartbreaking it destroyed everything I thought I knew about Jackson and about myself. Caroline asking to meet alone felt like walking straight into a trap. I stared at the message for a long time, so long that the screen dimmed and reflected my own anxious face back at me. Liam paced behind me, rubbing the back of his neck. "No," he said. "Absolutely not. She's unstable, Josie. I know. She tried to destroy your reputation. I know. She's been lying to the police, to the neighborhood, to her own damn self. I know. Then why the hell would you even think about? Because she lost a baby, Liam." That stopped him cold. Silence hung between us, thick and heavy. "I need answers," I said softly, "and she has them." He ran a hand down his face, frustrated but helpless. "Fine, but I'm not letting you go alone." She said alone, Liam. "She doesn't get to make demands anymore. We can't escalate it." He stepped close, lowering his voice. "She blames you, blames me, blames the world. You don't know what she'll do." I met his eyes. "You'll stay close, in the truck, engine on, watching." He still hated the idea, but he nodded. And that's how I ended up standing at the edge of our old neighborhood park. the place where moms brought their toddlers to swing and teens carved their initials into picnic tables. The air smelled like damp grass and cold wind. Liam parked across the street where he could see everything but not be obvious. I stood there for 5 minutes before Caroline appeared. She approached slowly, hands shoved into her sweater sleeves, hair pulled into a messy bun, eyes red and swollen. She looked empty, not angry, not wild, not volatile, just hollow. "Josie," she said, stopping a few feet away. "Caroline." We stared at each other. Two women bound by the same man's lies, but standing on opposite sides of the battlefield. "I'm not here to fight," she whispered. I nodded stiffly. "I'm listening." She sniffed, wiped her nose with her sleeve. "I know you saw the box," she said. "I left it because I didn't know how else to make you understand." "I understand a lot more now," I said quietly. "More than Jackson ever intended either of us to." A tear slipped down her cheek. "You must hate me." "I don't hate you," I said honestly. "But I hate what he did to us, both of us." She closed her eyes. "I didn't know he was lying to you. He told me you didn't care about him, that your marriage was basically dead, that you were cold and obsessed with work. He said you belittled him." My throat tightened. "That's not true." "I know," she whispered. "Now I know." She pulled out her phone and handed it to me. A long message thread was open between her and Jackson, and in message after message he painted me as a monster. He told her I verbally abused him. He told her I didn't let him see his friends. He told her I controlled all the money. He told her I threatened to leave him destitute. He told her sleeping with her gave him comfort. He wrote, "Josie doesn't touch me, doesn't look at me, doesn't even like me. With you I feel wanted." Caroline wiped her eyes. "And I believed him, Josie." "I really did," I swallowed. "He manipulated you," she nodded slowly. "But the pregnancy," her voice cracked, "that was real, and when I told him he panicked." I felt my knees weaken. "Panicked how?" She hugged her arms tightly around herself. "He said we needed to pause everything until he figured out a way to leave you without you taking everything from him. He said you'd ruin him, destroy him legally, so we had to be careful." My jaw clenched. "He always blamed me," she nodded again. "And when I lost the baby," she broke down crying. "He wasn't there, not one appointment. Not one hospital visit, not one phone call. He told me losing it simplified things, like a human life was just an inconvenience." Hot tears spilled down my face. "I'm sorry," I whispered. She shook her head viciously. "No. I'm sorry, I should have come to you. I should have told you the truth, but I was angry, and grief mixed with jealousy is," she gestured helplessly. "It's poison." I let the silence sit for a moment. "What made you reach out now?" I finally asked. She swallowed hard. "Because last night after he ran off," she paused, trembling. "He came to my apartment." My stomach dropped. "How did that go?" She let out a humorless laugh. "He told me I ruined his life. He said the baby wasn't his problem. He said I drove him into a corner. He said I needed to fix what I broke." "And what did he mean by that?" She took a shaky breath. "He wanted me to file the police complaints. Wanted me to say you attacked him. Wanted me to do the public posts. He said if I didn't, he'd tell everyone the baby wasn't his." My entire body went cold. "He threatened you," I whispered. She nodded. "And I finally saw him clearly. Not as the man I hoped he was, but the man he really is." I rubbed my arms as a cold wind brushed past us. "So why the box?" "Why now?" She looked at me with broken eyes. "Because he's not done. He's planning something bigger, something to ruin you." My heart stopped. "What?" She stepped closer, lowering her voice. "He said if the story doesn't turn in his favor, he'll take it to your workplace, your family, your church, your community, anyone who'll listen. He'll say you abused him for years. He's already drafting the posts." My vision blurred with rage. "And he wants you to help him?" I asked. She nodded. "But I'm done. I won't lie for him anymore." Silence, cold, heavy. Then she pulled something from her pocket. "A USB drive." "What's that?" "Proof," she said softly. "Voicemails, recordings, screenshots, everything he said, everything he planned. I saved it all. I didn't know why until now." I stared at it, stunned. "You're giving this to me?" "No," she said, shaking her head. "I'm giving it to Detective Monroe, and I'm apologizing for everything." My breath shook. "And what do you want from me?" I asked. She looked down. "Nothing, just forgiveness someday. Not now, maybe not ever, but someday." I couldn't speak. I didn't know if forgiveness was possible, but I didn't feel hate, not anymore, just pity for all of us. She turned to leave. But before she walked away, she looked back at me one last time. "You were never the villain," she whispered. "I just needed one." A single tear hit the grass, Then she walked to her car and drove away. Liam rushed to my side immediately, grabbing my shoulders. "You okay? What did she say?" I held the USB drive in my hand, tight, hard, like truth had weight. "A lot," I whispered. "And I think this is the final nail." Liam looked at the drive. "What is it?" "Jackson's downfall," I said softly. But even after the truth came out, life didn't snap back to normal. When you walk through a storm like that, you come out different. Stronger, softer, wiser, and sometimes, with someone unexpected still standing beside you.